What's up, guys? Mr. Catch22 here. Like, comment, subscribe down below. Hey, if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email. We're going to get straight to it. Part 1 was basically a handwritten version of compound interest. Part 2, now we're going to be using a TI-84 Plus. But if you have anything more advanced, it should still do the trick. Okay, so with compound interest, if you want to verify your answer, or if you want to just do the calculator first and then do the handwritten version first, basically this is kind of the trick. But before we jump to it, just remember this was the question from part 1. Suppose that 3,225 is invested at 3.1% compound semi-annually. How much is the amount at the end of 4 years? So we did the math and our final answer was $3,647.28. So all we're basically trying to do is just confirm this answer. So in order for us to kind of confirm the answer, first things first is if we have a compound interest, it's best if we know what the formula is. Correct. That's always the rule of thumb. So we have something like this: A equals P parentheses 1 plus R all over N times NT. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, I'll probably make that a little better. There we go. So kind of like what we did in part 1 is we kind of understood what each of these letters kind of meant. So just a little recap: N is the number of time interest is compound per unit, A is the amount, T is time, interest rate for R, P is principal. So keep that in the back of your head. Okay, so now that we got that situated, in order for us to kind of understand how to use it on the TI-84, first things first, I'll probably just end up zooming out quick just so you guys can have a better view, is turn on your calculator. What you would do is hit something called APPS, so applications. Should be number 1, finance. You probably have a lot more things going on. You hit enter, correct, and then it should say something TVM Solver. That should be the first one, so you hit enter again. So in order to solve N, we'll go step by step. So remember, N is compound. So N, just like it says in the calculator, what we have to remember is basically kind of what we wrote originally in part 1 and what I just recently showed you is N is the number of time interest is compound per unit. Okay, so with our N is just basically saying 2 times 4, which is 8, and I'll show you right here numerically what we did with the last one. So we did 2 times 4. Okay, so for N, whenever you have a question, just remember it's just your N times your T, and we got 8, correct? So next, I parentheses, that's what's next on the calculator. So this is our N, 2 times 4, that's 8. Okay, so I parentheses, that's what will be next. In other words, our I parentheses is just our interest. Okay, so if you remember originally our question wrote 3.1%, but we converted it into decimal form, so our interest is just 3.1. okay, and just to give you a nice little recap, if you read the question again, it says 3.1. okay, so suppose that 3,225 is invested at 3.1%. okay, so now that we have our I taken care of, next is our PV. Okay, so as you see that, so we wrote 3.1, and next would be PV. So PV, in other words, is just our principal value. Okay, so our principal value is just basically telling us our cash, kind of our cash flow basically think it as like the giving money away to the stock market. So it's, you take money and you're giving it away. So if you take something and give it away, you know, it's a loss in the sense, okay? So it's going away, so we'll put a negative sign. And since its principal value, if we look at what we wrote right here, it's just negative 3225, okay? So that's what we would write in our TI calculator, or whatever calculator you're using. You put a negative sign, correct? And the negative sign would be in the bottom. Not this, that's subtraction. You write negative 3225, okay? So next on our TI, it will be something like this, the PMT. So the PMT, in other words, is just basically saying the payment. And on your calculator, all you would have to write and punch in is just 0. Next would be future value, okay? So FV, so future value. And by that, for our future value, so it'll be right here. You can keep that at 0 for the time being, because that's what we're trying to solve for. Remember, is how much, you know, after the 4 years, if you look at the original question. Next is P all over Y, okay? So P all over Y. So that's basically saying our payment per year. And if you remember, before we had our fractions of year written down. And by that, what I meant is right here, we had monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, annually. So 1 over 12, 1 over 4, 1 over 2, and just 1. So keep that in the back of your mind if they're asking for N. So therefore, it's payment per year, and we already know that our payment per year is just 2, because it's semi-annually. The reason why I say it's semi-annually is because if you look at the original question, that's what I was asking for. Suppose that 3,225 is invested at 3.1%, compound semi-annually. Okay. So on your calculator, all you would have to punch in is just the number 2. And next would be CY. And our CY is just basically our compound per year. And we already know that's 2. Okay, we already automatically know compound because our N is 2. Okay, so what would you have to do is type in 2 for your payment per year, and then you hit enter, and then for your compound per year you hit 2 as well. So all you have to do is hit the up key, and where it says future value, correct, in order to get the final answer. Because remember, what our final answer, what we're looking for is 3,647 and 28 cents. Okay, that's what our final answer, that's what we're looking for. Okay, so you hit the up key, you go back to FV for future value, correct? What you would have to do is hit something called the alpha key. Just hit the alpha key. You see the A flashing like that, correct? And you hit enter. And look what we got. 3,647.2803. Look at that. 3,647.28. Correct? And the reason why I didn't write 03, and I'll kind of zoom out a little bit just so we can see. The reason why I didn't write 0.03 is because this is in money. You know, when we're talking money, you have to round it to the nearest cent. Okay, so this isn't, we're talking money. So if you round it to the nearest cent, you should get the same thing. $3,647.28. And that's what we got. There you go, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Shoot me an email if you have any question. Want to see you guys succeed and prosper. Thank you, and have a blessed